welcome to today's episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat. I'm Karen Scott Green.
And I'm Kat Hardrick.
And we are here today with Dr. Calvin Ellison. Dr. Ellison, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, okay. Well, I moved here to Stone Mountain, Georgia, going on 7 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, you're still fresh.
Yeah. All right.
My girlfriend and I, a girlfriend of 40 years this November.
Oh, look at you.
40
years.
I'm sorry, I almost felt like it.
I noticed she almost 40 years this November 19th, 7:30 p.m. I remember military style.
40 years.
40 years this November the 19th.
Congratulations.
And
Okay,
so-
this is going to be a whole conversation. All right.
See, this is why I had to go the route that I was trying to share with you.
So, y'all Stedman and Oprah, that's what you're doing?
Well, who?
Y'all
Well,
Stedman and
y'all
Oprah?
married though, huh?
Oh yeah, now we're married.
Oh, okay,
I'm-
girlfriend. Okay.
And my wife
He's
tells
making
me
this
that.
right.
She tells me, look, make sure you tell me.
I thought you
people
said
that.
your girlfriend of
He
40
did.
years.
Yeah,
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's my tagline.
So it's your wife.
Yes,
Okay,
my
all
wife.
right.
It is my wife for 40 years.
You're
Yeah.
old enough to have been married for 40 years.
I know.
40 years.
Get out of here.
God bless
Congratulations.
you. Yeah.
And so many people say love doesn't exist. Hey, here we are. 40 years. Go ahead.
Okay.
So we moved here going on 7 years ago.
Okay.
We pastored for 20 years in North Carolina.
Okay.
Worked with nonprofits, community colleges, and universities because of the nature of what we were doing with a broader vision. And so we felt that God wanted us to transition here to Georgia, and here it is. We've been going on 7 years now in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
So you said you're a pastor. Are you pastoring here in Stone Mountain?
No, we're not
Okay.
pastoring now. No, we used to. If you want to say it, we're pastoring the larger marketplace, if you would,
You're still doing ministry, but you're not pastoring.
but not
Right.
pastoring.
That's right.
And we do ministry in different forms.
Okay.
And so
And
part
what?
of the, I'm sorry.
No,
Kat.
you're fine. Go ahead.
But part of the ministry that you're doing, you work with young people.
Yes.
And that's how we met you.
Right.
And so can you tell us about the work that you do with young people?
Well, it's unique, Kat and Karen, because we had a program for men like what we're doing with the young folks in North Carolina. We wired it up with the criminal justice system, community colleges, health department, state agencies. And so the opportunity just came about through a friend of ours dealing with the Gwinnett County. And she said, well, look, there's a need here and there. And I'm like, okay, because I don't like to shy away from responsibilities and opportunities. I said, we'll take it on. And so we had already done, on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe at the 2 level of what we're doing now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
With Gwinnett County's DA's office. We had sent mentors into the schools back in North Carolina, what we called Mentors in Action. So we had a program that was in the can, needed to have some dust blown off of it, and so we just blew the dust off the program and created the RIZER Generation Rites of Passage
That's
program.
how it started.
That's how it
Get
started.
out of here.
So
Wow.
tell us about the RIZER generation. How many youth have gone through your program here in Gwinnett so far?
Yeah, the RIZER Generation is a 12-week modular training program. We usually do at least 9 of those modular trainings by Zoom and the other 3 in person.
Okay.
Because coming out of COVID
Right.
and so forth. So it's 12 weeks to where we teach everything from personal health to responsibilities at home, to character development, conflict resolution.
Oh, that's very important. Very important. Yeah.
Character,
Yeah.
and the things that will help a youth be a solid individual.
What's the age group?
We're dealing from the ages of 11 to 17.
Wow. That's a
11 to
good
17.
number.
And so it's a 12-week, then with 12 weeks of follow-up, where we're staying in touch with them, making sure that they're still in that evolution of youth development with a focus on work, education, community, health, and creativity.
So you're seeing this same group of young people for about 6 months.
Close
a little
to
bit,
about
yeah, a little bit shy of 6 months.
6 months.
I thought I read somewhere that there was another aspect to the RIZER generation.
Yeah, well, we make sure that the parents are engaged.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a requirement that they have to be engaged
That's so
at
important.
least 50% of
You
the
have to
time.
have parent buy-in.
You do.
for any of
You
these
have to have
programs.
parent buy-in. And I don't this is way off the subject, but this is how we do, right? When I used to have parties for my son, you know how people drop their kids off and leave? The requirement for you to come to the party was you had to stay.
Oh, okay.
So we used to do old school double dutch, three-legged races, dads and sons against mamas and daughters and all this other stuff, and community. So we have to make sure, and I know this is way off, but to me it was a way of making sure parents stayed involved, because kids want to see their parents.
Yes.
And if we don't have them involved, that's how we somebody else going to step in.
Well, one of the great testimonies we've got, or several, is that the parents have said, one parent literally told me, and it's in the report that we turned in, I'm glad that my son got in trouble so I can meet this program and meet you all. He said, I've gained as much out of the program probably as my son.
That's powerful.
There were things I just didn't know.
Powerful.
And we had another parent who said that he and his son had not looked one another in the eye for over a year. It was just that much tension in the house. Since going through the program, they both want to become mentors. And he said that my son and I were talking every day, and the atmosphere with the other youth in the family has shifted as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
So good.
But the heartbeat behind it is because we care about people.
That's right.
We try to convey that.
That's right.
And something we've coined recently, I've coined to where I tell them our passion with RIZER, our passion and purpose is to help you protect, promote, and progress in your purpose and your potential.
I love it.
Through the principles of the program that you're in.
Okay.
All in peace. Go ahead now.
The RIZER program seems great. How do you get your funding? Because I know this cannot be.
Oh, look. Don't look over the glasses to me. Look, that's one of our touchy subjects, right?
Are you a 501c3?
Yes.
Okay.
We're working on that today.
Okay. All right.
And of course, we're looking to expand.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. But people can donate to you, right?
Yes.
So what
That's what I
about
wanted
your
to get to.
website and how folks can donate and support what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your website?
Yes, Success Dynamics Incorporated.
.org.com or
SuccessDynamicsInc.com.
and then that's where folks can come in, donate and support you, and also can they enroll there as well, or?
Well, we've kept RIZER just to the DA's office to those people that are recommended to us, and they're screened. Now we've got others who want to do that. Yeah, we can't open that gate because we do have something that is almost like RIZER, maybe a quarter of the time, to where anybody can call in and they can get that service for it.
So there's something else for someone who's not coming through the DA's office.
Exactly.
Okay.
So are you looking to implement that same program? Have you had any conversations with the Gwinnett Juvenile Court?
So I'm waiting on a meeting probably next week with a lady out of Douglasville who is, she's like a victim witness advocate for the whole state of Georgia.
Okay.
So she's getting ready to introduce it to the western part of the state. But I think that entity is over the whole state of Georgia.
Okay.
But for right now, I know she's getting ready to open that corridor west of the capital, Douglasville, Austell, and those places.
So it looks like your program has the potential to go and reach more young people.
Yes.
Throughout the state.
Matter of fact, the first time I talked to her, she was like, "Well, I know you're thinking about taking this across the state, aren't you?" The lady in Douglasville.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. And she has the capacity to blow on it for that to happen.
Well, that's good because obviously it's needed, right? We need to find
It's
something,
definitely needed.
to make sure that you have and it's basically your program is a gap in between the judicial system, that child going into the judicial system, right?
Yes. Yeah. We can help keep them out of juvenile court or out of jail, prison.
Period. Wow.
And I do juvenile work in some of the outer counties like Clark County, Newton, Walton, Jackson County. And these programs are really needed because in some of the outer counties, there's not a lot that's out there. Like Gwinnett is getting better, but for a long time there weren't a lot of programs for young people. But that need is definitely out there for like a Clark County. So if you haven't already, that's a good place to reach out to.
Which way is Clark?
Clark is is east of us, northeast of us.
Okay, I see now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're there's definitely a need. And I noticed also that your company it's Success.
Yes, Success Dynamics Incorporated.
Right. And so you've got a lot more things under your umbrella besides RIZER. You want to talk about some of the other things that you're working on, other programs that you have? I mean, because RIZER's great.
Yeah.
But you have a body of work that you're doing, and we want to highlight and make sure that people are aware of like the plethora of things that you're working on, because all of it
is some good stuff.
Yeah, all of it is good stuff, and all of it's part and parcel. And so this is all part of these are parts of your ministries.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, and so we've got you here. We want to hear about
I
it.
just like to call it services.
Yes. Yep.
You don't want to call it
Don't
ministry?
want to call it ministries.
Why not?
Because it is a ministry. Service is ministry.
Okay.
But you know, we're so accustomed to the traditional ministry to where it has a certain stigma on it.
I was about to say,
You
people
know,
can kind of turn it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when I come and give you a service, you don't want to turn me off.
Okay.
Right. Isn't that something? So you just have to, and it's service is ministry.
Yes.
But the term ministry has turned people off. And so we don't want to do that. We want to bring people into the services. Then
they'll find out, oh, you're doing ministry, huh?
Yeah.
Like when I quoted those 8 P's, I just preached to them.
I felt that.
And I didn't. You felt that?
Yeah.
And I didn't mention God at all. And the last cohort that we had, I mean, they sit there and I could see the tears forming in the parents' eyes because I took my jacket off and I put my jacket around them on one of the gentlemen, and it fit him perfectly. And I said, now, here is what we're going to do to you all. We're going to put our love, our care on you through this program, which is an extension of the heart of the DA.
Yes.
I said, that's what we're going to do. So I sit there and I stood up there and took my jacket off, put it on him, fitted him very well, buttoned it up. And I said to every one of them, this is what we're doing to you.
I'm covering you.
I'm covering
you.
We want to help protect, cover your potential and your purpose.
I received that right there.
That's right.
I received that.
I said,
sis, look.
I said, we got to protect it because you may be that DA over here.
Yeah.
That's right.
You may be that attorney. So we want to help you protect and promote your purpose and your potential that's yet to be known.
Yeah. That's
through the program, because everybody is developed through a program. The family is nothing but a program.
Yes.
The school system, the college, the universities, they're nothing but programmatic
This is true.
for development.
Yes.
And so that's...
And when young people feel loved,
Oh, come on.
seen, heard, how much can you do with that? You know? And it doesn't take much for any of us to just stop for a minute and just show that young person that they're heard and seen and valued. You know what I'm saying? And you really can say, instead of coming out attacking them, don't do this, don't do that, meet them where they are.
Where they are.
You know?
And realize, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And realize they have a need.
Yes.
We must be need focused because people have needs.
Yes.
And we were wired to have needs. I function properly when my needs are being met. Now you're going to make me get over to the marriage arena.
No, go ahead. Don't stop.
They function because of the needs being met.
Yeah.
And so it is around the basis as we go back to the young folks. We got to help to find out what are those needs that you have. Because you didn't just get in trouble.
Absolutely.
What need was not met? Was it an esteem need? Was it a sense of belonging, bonding? What need was not met?
When I'm in juvenile court, I always, and I say this to people, when a young person comes into that courtroom, they didn't get there by themselves. That child is a story. There's a reason why that child is there. They didn't come in that courtroom just out of happenstance.
Right.
No.
There's some life circumstances, there's some family situations, there's some dynamics, some things are going on. Even for the child who's like breaking into cars, even for the child who's picking up the gun, the child who's bullying, something's going on.
Yes.
And, you know, so I love programs that are getting to the root of the why. Young man, young woman. Let's help to build you up, because if you build up that child, you're helping to build up that whole family. You're helping
And
to
the whole
strengthen
community. You know? And that's it.
And this is why we want to understand where you've come from.
Yes.
Because we have to consider your environment or the culture that brought you to where you are, we have to look into that and see how we can help support the culture. And this is why we got the report. It was very moving. One gentleman literally cried right on video. One father concerning his son. The program meant just that much to him.
Yes.
Because, yes, we were concerned about his son because his son is the one who came before the DA and the judge. But we were concerned about what's your environment like?
Yeah.
What can we do to help? What's happening at home?
Yeah.
You know.
That's so important.
And so, we didn't get to hear about your other programs.
Right. We went right back to that.
We're right back to it.
This is what happens with conversations with Karen and Kay. We go down a rabbit hole.
Then I have to take you now to one of the programs, which is basically a movement that we have going on entitled Men Magnifying Manhood. And then we have the flip side, Women Magnifying Womanhood.
Okay.
And basically what we're doing there is us. It's us coming together to build one another up.
Yes.
Because I share this with the guys quite often. You are the STAR in your solar system. Right? You're that big thing out there that your solar system of influence needs. Not me, not the one beside you. You are the star. So if we can pour into one another, build one another up, so when I go back out to my solar system, my space to shine, I can shine brighter and I can shine further.
You good with them metaphors, I'll tell you. I thought I was good, but I'd have met my match before. That is good.
You know, making it real and relevant to folks.
Right. That's right.
You know, I say now you're gonna have influence at your Venus level, your Mercury level, your Earth level, your Mars, so forth and so on. You're gonna have people that's close up to you that you're gonna influence. Are you heating them up? Are you making them feel comfortable and warm? You know, how bright is your light shining? Does it shine far enough that those that are watching you from afar that's at the Pluto level are getting something from you? You know, so we work to build one another up so that we can shine bright and shine far.
So what skills are you teaching
influence.
men and what skills are you teaching women in these programs?
Oh my God. First of all, who are you? We need to identify who I am as a man. So my identity, we're talking about purpose, we're talking about roles and responsibility, because everybody has a role. Everything has a role. I don't know if they're still doing it with the cars nowadays, because I just bought a car, but the spark plug years ago, it may not have been the biggest thing on that car, but it had a role.
But it did. A very important role.
Very important role. You know, that ignition, that thing where you stick your key into, every part on the car has a role. So we're teaching about roles, responsibilities, and how to be productive. We talk about social skills. We talk about fathering. We talk about how to be better husband, how to be better men, to contribute to our society. So we get into a lot of stuff like that. Of course, we've talked about the prison to pipeline. We talk about domestic violence. We have a show coming up, or not a show, but an event coming up October the 29th, where I told one of the ladies who's dealing with domestic violence, I said, hold up. You can't go out there on this battlefield by yourself any longer.
That's right.
When we oftentimes are the perpetrators. I said, no, we're going to, as a group of men, we're going to go to this battlefield with you.
Oh, that's good.
So we're having, in Clayton County, October the 29th, we're having a program, Manning Up and Leading Like a Lady.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Oh, that's going to be good. Let me ask you this.
So we're addressing domestic violence.
With regard to domestic violence, I've been made aware that there is two sides of that with regard to there are women who are being victims, but there are also men who are victims of women being the abuser. Is that ever a topic you hear?
Absolutely. That's part of the premise of why we developed what we're doing on October the 29th, because it's unfortunately coming from both sides. We know it's more so on the men's side.
Absolutely.
But it's hitting both sides. And this is why even on our Men Magnifying Manhood platform, you all might like this. We've had men magnifying womanhood on the platform.
Okay.
And then again next month.
How does that work?
Oh, it was so, it's like everybody, look, we had determined to stop it at least 9:30, but we ended up going to 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Because it was just that engaging.
Okay. And you don't want to stop when,
You don't want
when
to
it's
stop.
good.
So
Yeah,
we had to take it from 8:30 till 10 o'clock.
And so this was dialogue that was focusing on what?
This was when it was men magnifying womanhood. It was men speaking to women.
Right.
Okay.
And we began with,
Okay.
we apologize. We apologize for how we've treated you. Whether it was through ignorance or doing what monkey see, monkey do. We started out with the apology, let's flush the stool.
Right.
You know? And of course we went from there to women magnifying manhood. And we would have on the flyer, let's say if it was 4 men speaking for 5 to 10 minutes to the ladies, we would have on the flyer, the whole flyer was loaded with the faces of women. Yeah, because we wanted to project that we as men are going to magnify the women. And so when we did it the other way around, and of course we're having that next month.
The 24th.
Well, the whole month of October is going to be women magnifying manhood again.
Okay.
Because this will be the second time this year we've
So
done
you
it.
dedicate a whole month to either gender magnifying the opposite one. So it was last month?
Well, July we had men magnifying womanhood.
Gotcha.
May we had May we had men magnifying womanhood. You know, month of May.
Yeah.
You know,
Mother's Day. Oh, and then June, Father's Day. That is great.
That would take some very intent listening. So
And vulnerability.
yeah,
You know, being able to say
vulnerability on the speaker's part, and then for the hearer, they have to be actively listening, because sometimes we get defensive when we hear the opposite sex say the things that they are experiencing. It's natural for us to internalize that and say, well, you know, you didn't do. So just to hear it, receive it, not respond, and then just receive it. That's
well, you could imagine emotions
yes.
were flowing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because like one person said, you know, I didn't know that you all thought like that.
Right.
You know, it was just, and then the healing part, the forgiving, asking for forgiveness. But we do strive to set the atmosphere, the temperature in the room, if you would, so everybody knows, okay, this is a very sensitive area as we're going to speak into the heart and the life of one another. But for the most part, it's nothing but edification, building up and asking for forgiveness.
Oh, I love that.
Asking and giving forgiveness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm
So-
losing my train of thought. I wanted to ask you something, and I'm trying to hold on to it, but every time we talk, it leaves me.
And we got a variety of folk coming from different backgrounds and experiences, and I'm telling you, it's just so exciting to where everybody's like, forget about the time. You know, because we'll have the ladies who will speak, and then we'll give the guys opportunity after each one of the women have spoken to give a comment or ask a question.
Okay.
You know, and we do that each time, whether it's the men magnifying womanhood or vice versa.
How do we get plugged into that program? And I know that we would love to be there the next time you have one of those events, so we can come and tape it if possible, if that's something that's
Oh, well, we
allowed
do it
to
right on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
We do it on Zoom because we have a Facebook Live and so forth.
Okay.
And I can make sure that the flyer is sent out too.
Yeah,
Which I'd known about you all before now because we'd have you all up there as one of the speakers, presenters. You know, but we're going to do it again early next year.
Okay.
This is something, the impact of
Count me in.
That's right.
those first 2 times was just so empowering. And then also on that same platform, we have Barbershop Salon.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we have 3 men, 3 women, and let's talk.
Yes.
Why are we not getting along? Let's talk about the real issues.
And break down those stereotypes and all that negativity. Oh, there isn't any good men, there aren't any good women, or black people can't have healthy relationships. You know, here it is, we got like
40
how
years,
many
21 years?
Got like almost 100 years in this room. You know
Come
what I'm saying?
We want to deal with the issues.
That's right.
I don't believe in sweeping anything under the rug. If there's an issue going on out there, we're going to attack it.
Solutions.
That Goliath, now you're going to make me preach.
Go start. You ain't stopped yet.
Goliath is not going to educate us and institutionalize us on our watch. We're determined that no, it's not going to happen. Why hasn't somebody taken his head off? Why hasn't somebody addressed him? Why is he terrorizing our community? Why is he educating us that you can't move forward from what has been? No, we're not going to tolerate that.
Go ahead, man.
Not on your watch, Dr.
Not on our watch. No. That's
Listen, I was about to say.
I see you have several books here. Please tell us about these books.
Well, each one of them is attacking a Goliath.
Okay.
Empowering folk to be in charge and in control. And I want to start with this one, which is so critical. Our health is our number one wealth. You don't make health decisions in a doctor's office. You make them in the supermarkets and the grocery stores.
Hey, I'm a health coach. You preach to the choir.
See what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so this is truly a pet peeve because we spend over $1 trillion a year here in America on healthcare. We spend more on diabetes than to deal with diabetes than what we do in our military. These are just some of the stats that's out there when it comes down to health. So our number one wealth is our health, and we got to get back to soundness. And of course, it's not just the food we eat.
Right.
What about those other components of health? I ask people all the time, when was the last time you pulled your shoes off and let your feet touch the ground?
The earth. We were talking about that, and you were saying how you like to use
like to dig in the
dirt.
After I was sharing yesterday with Saturday that after my parents passed in 2020, they passed 3 months apart. That part of my healing was gardening because I needed to see something grow. I needed to see life, and so the soil was healing for me, and seeing life being regenerated since I'm not having any more babies. That was my healing. That was my
Wow. Well, see, the earth is nothing but in one analogy, like a big battery. Every time it lightnings, the earth is being charged with electrons. We're like a small battery. If you ever had to have a car jumped, then you hook it up, the weak battery up to a strong battery. The earth is a living thing. This is why it is able to produce the living food that we eat. Because literally I am eating dirt dressed up.
And we actually can eat our way to health.
We can eat our way to health. So true.
Right.
And so this is why I advocate pulling the shoes off or going and hugging a tree or touching something natural. So that we can get what we need from Mother Earth.
So what are a few more of your books?
Okay. Now we know that this is an issue. Relationships, marriage. Look at the number of relationships, unfortunately, yearly that end in divorce, from the pulpit to the pew, from the White House to the outhouse. You know what I'm saying? So girlfriend and I put this together as a result of our going on 40 years of marriage.
I still can't see that. You just
I know, right? But anyway, his girlfriend. Okay, look.
Together, the rightly related couple, king and queen, in other words.
That's right.
So we talk about that in here. Let me leave this one for last. This is dear to this got me out of North Carolina. Took us out of North Carolina because we had gotten comfortable in our evolution. There's nothing innately wrong with a comfort zone, until you stay in it too long. Let the baby stay in the womb longer than what was programmed. The life of the child and the mother is at risk. So we've all got to evolve and step into that other version of Calvin Ellison.
That's right.
Coming out of your comfort zone or beyond your comfort zone.
That's a good one.
Addresses that. And then lastly, because everybody has a story. Every person, place, and thing has a story. And my story doesn't belong to me. Your story, my story belongs to our generation that we are called to empower.
I love it. Now, are you from North Carolina originally?
From North Carolina originally. Now, I know probably where you're going yet because people said, you're Igbo man from Nigeria. Sound like you're from this place, but anyway. But no, born in North Carolina.
Because I was thinking some coastal?
Toward the coast, Greenville, East Carolina University, about 2 hours from the coast.
None of the sea islands?
No.
Okay, all right.
You think you...
Because he when he first came in, I thought I heard like a slight Gullah accent.
A who?
Gullah?
What's that?
Like Gullah Geechee from the South Carolina Sea Island.
Oh, okay.
And North Carolina has some barrier islands as well.
Okay. See, I'm not that educated on that.
Okay, that's okay. Look,
I thought I heard that a little bit of it.
Yeah.
You ever met anyone from South Carolina, like Charleston, Hilton Head, black folks, that were born there, and they're from St. Simon's, Hilton Head, Charleston also, and they have, because they were for so long. The black communities were cut off from the mainland. This is before they had the bridges and things. They kept a lot of their language in the Gullah Geechee community, and so their dialects are very strong.
Okay.
And so when you first came in, I thought I heard a little bit of it. Yeah, I heard a little bit of that.
Well, if you were from Nigeria, then you would have been saying something different. Yeah, because I've gone to travel to Africa quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of the things they said to me.
So they're Igbo. A lot of the people who were Gullah Geechee are Igbo because they farmed rice off the coast of Nigeria, and so these planters in South Carolina would they would go and get them, purchase them, steal them.
Speaking facts.
Because they had this knowledge about rice growing. So, but they kept a lot of their words and songs.
Native language and music.
So, but anyway, I thought I heard a little bit of that.
Oh,
I
okay.
digress.
Well, I'm going to have to refresh myself on that.
Yep, not a problem. So we, as you said in your book, health and wellness is the key, right, to living a great quality of life. And what we like to always ask before we end the show is, what is your go-to self-care regimen that you do to keep yourself balanced? You're a very busy man. You have all these services that you provide. You're an author and so forth. So what is it that you do to keep yourself rounded? Because we like to empower our viewers who may be faced with stress, anxiety, depression, So what do you do, and you can help give a person?
Wow. Well, daily I have a liquid regimen that I go through. Now, I admit I'm not the typical. I go the long route. It takes me 30 minutes to go through my liquid regimen when I get up in the morning. Now I can give people a shorter route, but because I mix my own stuff, so I have a liquid regimen that I go through. Of course, I have my prayer time meditation. And then I get into my liquid regimen that takes me literally 30 minutes to consume. Now, I don't advise this for everybody, particularly just getting started out. You may want to go just get that supplement, put it in a cup, put your water, your milk, or whatever, and take it down. But the kid, he goes through 30 minutes every single day. I usually drink anywhere from up to 18 to 24 ounces of liquid. Right behind one another. And everything.
First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
Well, something's working, because, child, you don't look like you've been married 40 years, honey.
Unless you got married when you were 15 or
right.
That's what others have said. But no, actually in my 60s, and do part of my regimen too, because I had to upgrade. I wasn't satisfied because I don't like to, be stuck in a comfort zone. So I was doing 200 push-ups a day, and so I upgraded that to over 300.
A day?
A day.
At one time, or just throughout the day?
Oh no, all at one time.
Let me up my little 2 miles 5 days a week.
Within usually about a 7-minute period.
Wow.
You can knock out 300 push-ups? You still got that military in you?
I do 100. Was never in the military. Love sports, play football, but I do my minimum starting out is 100 in one set.
Okay, that's like in 2 minutes.
No, in a minute and a half.
Minute and a half, okay.
And so, but nowadays I'm playing with 100 to 150. I never would have dreamed I could have done 150 push-ups in one set.
So when y'all want to know how to do push-up.
And so I go through my liquid regimen and then my exercise regimen religiously.
Wow.
Every single day. And I tell myself,
that's impressive.
If you want to eat, you're going to exercise and you're going to go through your liquid regimen because I'm targeting things like blood pressure, warding off diabetes, cancer, and all that kind of stuff, and all that I plan in my regimen.
Good. That's some good stuff.
But I make sure that Calvin Ellison has self-care.
That's right.
That Calvin Ellison takes care of Calvin Ellison. so I can be of benefit to girlfriend and everybody else. Because if I'm not healthy, I can't serve you.
That's right.
As I should.
And you are the STAR.
In your own planet system.
That's right.
So, and our listeners and viewers can find you how again?
Yes, they can go to my website at calvinellison.org.
All right.
calvinellison.org, or you can find me also on successdynamics.inc.com from that website, or menmagnifyingmanhood.com.
And so they can find out about any of the programs, they can purchase books, and they can find out about the RIZER program through those websites.
Yes.
All right.
Or email me at dr.calellison@gmail. C-A-L-Ellison, E-L-L-I-S-O-N @gmail. For consultations, we do one-on-one consultations, do seminars, workshops. We do whatever it takes to serve people what we've gained.
All right.
All right.
I love it. Thank you so much, Dr. Ellison.
Thank you all for having me on this dynamic show. Just remember me when you come into your kingdom.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat.
Well, we are impacting the world one conversation at a